I gotta put on my little light. Okay. Yes. Oh, I forgot the.
Welcome to the Code Talk Evening Show. And I am your host, Victor Vinciant. And by my side, I have the other artist
There you go.
known as Antoine Christopher, you know. And today's topic is about the Passport Bros. And are they done? Are the Passport Bros done? And this was a very interesting topic brought to you by none other than Mr. Antoine. You know what I'm saying? So he has some questions, and and I believe that they are very valid questions. And I am here to field whatever questions he may have pertaining to the topic. And without further ado, let's go, man. What is your so number one? What do you think about the Passport Bros?
I have nothing against the Passport Bros. I understand why they do what they do, but I just don't like the way that I think it's become exacerbated because of the way social media has made it. You know, not many men, it's not easy to just go over there and start a life in a third world country or wherever they're going, Brazil or whatever. And I think that it's become such a big talking point on social media that makes people a lot of money.
Yeah.
And because it makes people a lot of money, it's being spread around, and it's bigger than what people are making it up to be. It's not that very many men going over there, but I think they're making more money talking about it than actually going over there to find someone. And I think that's why it started to spread like wildfire.
So
You know?
after we decided to do this topic, what other information have you seen that made you skeptical as you are about it?
because because okay, the way it's portrayed is that every black woman is the way they are, right? And
Mhm.
I think, and it's been so widespread that people are forgetting those are the black women that person is meeting, right? You are what you attract. And I think that, is there a stereotype out? Yeah, well, yeah, there is a stereotype out there, but a stereotype starts from somewhere. That's a fact. That's not me.
Mhm.
But I think the way that the Passport Bros are explaining it, I think it's their own individual experience, and I don't think it's as big as what people think. And I believe that. You know.
Mhm.
Now, like the Passport Bros, if I can't get what I want here, I will look elsewhere, and rightfully so. But that's been going on forever. I mean, nobody's really. It's not really a thing till somebody made it a thing. Until Kevin Samuels brought up the uh, the details of being with a black woman, how a black woman is, how dating in America is, how the nuclear family. Till Kevin Samuels came around, rest his soul. Till he came around, nobody was really talking like this. There wasn't anything. He popularized the high value men, even though it already existed, because I've been around them, so I know it existed way before. And he said it too on his show. And I think the way Kevin Samuels, he's talking to high value men, but not every man, the average man is not going to be high value. That's a 1 to 15%, if anything, right? The high value man is the one that actually determines politics, that actually lets you know where the vote's going to go. The 1% that actually pays the average guy that's on the street making, $20 an hour, $25 an hour.
Mhm.
And that being said, okay, for me, that being said, till Kevin Samuel popularized that, it wasn't being around. It wasn't even talked about on social media as much. Were there channels? Obviously. But he was a pioneer in his own way. And like I said, I'm a fan of Kevin Samuels, but we don't agree on everything. I'm telling you that right now. He's right on what he says. A lot of the social media channels are right on what they say. How they go about saying it, we defer. I don't, but I don't agree with everything he says.
Okay, so what do you think um, what do you think the biggest challenge is in getting some, like, what would your biggest questions be if you wanted to understand if the passport bros were dead or not?
They're not dead. They're not. They were never. They were always here. They're not
Mhm.
dead or alive. They were always here.
So you thinking they're just overstating something that's always been there and they're just
Yeah, I
basically.
think, like I said, I think they were always here. But like I said, until Kevin Samuel started coming around, until one guy went on the show and talked about finding a woman what he wanted, a feminine woman elsewhere, and all this sort of stuff, that grew. That was the seed that was planted. Kevin Samuel was a seed that was planted that brought everything to the forefront.
Okay.
Everybody started thinking on their left side of the brain and the right side of the brain and the frontal lobes, and it just and then it became a thing of money. I mean, the more you talk about it, I mean, less chaos sells, right? I mean, sex
Mhm.
sells, chaos sells. Good news doesn't really sell, but they'll pick up a headline if it's got a disastrous thing on the front cover. And I
So you
think,
just
huh?
so really you think it's a social media narrative that everybody are just like glamorizing so in so many words.
Listen. You go to some of these countries, you're gonna wake up in a bathtub with ice, missing a liver. Nobody talks about that.
Yeah.
That happens.
Yeah, like this one right here,
Like that one right there. People don't know. They go over there, they go overseas. You mess with the wrong girl that's got a plan for the guys that's waiting for you, that the taxi's in on it. You ain't coming back alive. Nobody talks about that.
Yeah. I'm gonna leave this up on the screen for a little while. You
You
know what
know?
I'm saying? To
Nobody
keep
talks
things in
about that.
perspective. So
Nobody talks about that stuff. And not talking about that stuff, um, not talking about the negative and only talking about the positive. Of course you're gonna focus on the positive. Are there fine ass women over there? Absolutely. You know what I
mhm.
mean? No doubt about it. Um, is the condition different over there? Yeah, but when you don't know better, you don't do better.
That's true.
These women don't know better, so they don't do better. They got misery coming to them too from some of the guys that leave here to go there.
Yeah, I
They
see that.
do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
Man,
mean?
I can see that. As a perspective for sure. Um, I guess. Do you see a shift in the behavior? Do you think it's increasing, or do you think it's just popular for right now? Or I understand like this already has been ongoing. You know what I'm saying? And it's probably seem pretty faddish for some people. Trendy. But do you think it's something sustainable?
To what? To what? Be specific about
Do
what?
you think most people are? Let me tell you what I think, because what I want to say is this: I believe that everything becomes oversaturated at some point. You know what I'm saying?
Especially when it makes money. Yeah.
Yeah, like I do believe that. I think that it's gonna put some restrictions on who can, what I'm saying, deal with who at whatever point, because you have to be in a certain position to really, really maximize anything, right? So everybody's gonna have some limitations. So I believe most of the people that go over there are just, participating in short term fulfillment. You know what I'm saying, for a lack of better words, without using any type of, you know, uh, language to damage the channel. So I do believe it's an interesting topic when it comes down to safety. That's what I think the main thing. I'm always focused on safety and focused on threat and things of that nature. So, like for instance, a Minnesota family is grieving after their loved one was kidnapped and unalived while on a trip to Medellin, Colombia. Colombian authorities confirmed that 50-year-old Tao Zher Zong arrived in Medellin on November 29th. He called a friend in the U.S. on December 10th after going to meet a woman he met online, saying he was kidnapped and being held for $2,000 ransom. Zhang was then unalived. Yuri Amato Sanchez, sectional director of Medellin prosecutor's office, said in a news conference, adding that the alleged kidnappers didn't collect the ransom money. So it went over there for no reason. So like ultimately, what does the outcome say? And do you think that? I mean, this stuff happens too, just as much as people want to, go over and explore interacting with women in different cultures. The safety threat also goes up with the interest and curiosity as well. And
Listen, it happens both ways. You watch Dateline ID, all they talk about is Florida, Wisconsin, and California. I mean, it happens both
Mhm.
ways, right? So I mean, the discussion is there. It happens both ways.
Yeah.
So it's not one more than the other. You could go over there, and you know, it's not as easy as people think. You can't just start
Mhm.
a life and know the area. I mean, if you go to Jamaica, you go to Trinidad, you better know where you're walking.
So tell me about
Bring that American shit. You can't bring to the Jamaica. They look at you like, really? You know, we work with machetes over here, right? They have their areas too.
yeah.
They do.
What,
I mean,
what about what would you say the your like based on what your heritage and beginnings in Trinidad, right?
what?
Based on your beginnings in Trinidad and like being from Trinidad, did you see Americans try to interact with the locals the same way as you see this passport movement, going
Listen,
on?
listen. I back then I haven't been in a while, but I can tell you this: back then it was different. It wasn't the way they are today. That's why all these topic points are here. You know,
Hmm.
you got people thinking in America, the idiots thinking in America. You know what black is. Meanwhile, they never even traveled outside of America. They
Hmm.
talk about being from Africa. Meanwhile, they never even stepped foot in Africa. They didn't even open up a book in Africa. They just drank the Kool Aid. You know,
Hmm.
some of us actually read a book, but they're
Yeah.
quick to call names. They're quick to judge because they're uneducated. And when you're uneducated, the only thing you have is name calling, name shaming, where you're from, what you did. That's all you have because you don't know nothing. You only know
Hmm.
the square box that you live in and the Kool Aid you drank that's surrounding you, your environment.
Hmm.
Until you step out of that environment and out of your comfort zone, and you're actually with people in another country that you don't really know the habits, dude. I mean,
Hmm.
it's the way it is, right?
So
But you could judge from where you sit. You could be a keyboard warrior, but I wouldn't. There's certain things you don't bring into like if I go to Dubai, you can't spit on the street like normal. You can try. Good luck. But if you get arrested, you can talk and scream and yell all you want. They're just looking at you like you finished.
hmm
But you wouldn't know that until you step foot there, right? You wouldn't know that. You can go to Japan. Yeah, they really do work with swords over there. And I'm not saying they're that ancient, but it's a little different. You have to conduct yourself a little bit different,
hmm
you know?
understood. So what's burning you? What's grinding Antoine's gears about the
Nothing.
passport boys? Because like
Nothing's grinding my gears about them. They're more, listen, nothing's
it's not
grinding.
like, and this is the thing. I know it's not about a bad thing or whatever.
No, nothing's grinding my gears about. I understand why they're doing what they're doing, but those are the people they've come in contact with. Just
Hmm.
like the idiots that comment on that in the comment section. I don't, me, I don't even look at the comment section because I don't know none of them niggas, but that's me. Um,
So you want to focus on
I don't know none of them, but they comment because they don't know no better,
okay.
right?
So
That's all.
so on this topic, you when we were discussing it, and having the main point of the discussion was that you were saying something to the effect, why can't the men in the United States find the women that they want in the United States, and why do they feel like they have to go overseas to find the women that they want to like actually create families with? Is that about right?
I would say that listen, times have changed, right? Today you got OnlyFans. Today they don't need women don't need you to tell them they're beautiful. They open up their Instagram, they got 12,000 guys telling them they're beautiful. So it doesn't carry the same weight, does it? Right? Women are making their own way, rather selling their bodies or having going to school, getting an education, and becoming who they want to become. And the whole I want to be a provider and all that, that's great. But that's back in our parents' days, you
Mm.
know? And today, I know people don't like the word partnership, but it's not a partnership it's a partnership as far as the household because you're both bringing in incomes to pay the bills. And it's not a partnership when it comes to who's the man and who's the woman. And it's not a partnership when it comes to how the kids are raised. It's actually coming together to find the best way to raise the kids. But what are you gonna? I mean, that's the way I look at it.
Mm-hmm.
But this whole I'm gonna be the provider and she has to submit to me and all. That's all Kevin Samuel talk, man. That ain't the way. A real woman ain't gonna tolerate that. Why would she? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you're one of those idiots that don't have two dimes to rub together, and you want a woman to submit to you, what are you bringing to the table? Because the last I checked, you living under her roof.
Mm. Man, there's some guys in some unique situations that's like that, that fit what you're saying. But do you think it's the majority of them, or do you
I don't
think
think
it?
it's the majority of them. I don't think it's the majority of. Listen, the average guy makes what 42 grand a year. That's some good money. You get a girl that's making 42 grand a year. You're crossing over maybe 100,000 if you're lucky. That's a good
Mm-hmm.
salary to raise a family on. I don't
Yeah.
think. I mean, why are we talking about the 1 to 15% of men? Let's talk about the average guy that's out there.
Okay. So I think I know where you're going.
I'm
You,
going to talk
you
about the 1%.
so so you're saying that this passport boy movement is a really small percentage of men that's getting a lot of attention.
Yep, it ain't
Okay.
the 1% and the 1 to 15% of men that's going over there. That's high value. That's
Yeah.
traveling to another country because they're
Okay.
already with the elite.
So the real question is, what's the rest of everybody else doing, right?
I think men today have to strive to be. Listen, if you want what you want, dime costs money.
Yeah.
And if you want what you want, you're gonna have to work for it, and you're gonna have to find an avenue that fits you and work towards it. The
Hmm.
quick, listen, as fast as you can make money, if you make it fast, you're gonna lose it fast. Is my belief.
I
But
I think this conversation, well, this topic, outside this platform, is a is the next is one of the next divides. And as small as it is, a percentage wise, anything that vacuums up a whole bunch of attention is going to eventually hit a wall. You know what I'm saying? When it comes down to who can actually take absolute advantage of it. Some people say the passport boys are lame. You know what I'm saying, for basically trying to, like, skip the answers, skip to the answers and not even do the
dude,
work.
like I keep telling you, uneducated people use name calling. Lame. Why are they lame? If they can't find if the product is not here in their environment that they're in, what's wrong with seeking it elsewhere? If the product is not here, they don't see it in their environment. What's wrong with calling them lame because they decide to go elsewhere and find it?
Yeah,
That's
I
all
I
I'm
think
saying.
I
You
think
can,
I think a lot of
you can name call all you want, and that's great. But you're in your little box. Good luck with that. But when you come into the real world and you have people that can form a proper sentence, they're going to look at you and go, "Now I know why you're in that box." They're not lame for going to find what they're looking for if they're not getting it here.
Mhm.
I don't see what's the big deal. If I'm not getting what I want here, I came here from another country to get my dream and my achieve my goals, and all I did was work towards it. If I can't get it where I'm situated, dude, like people join the army because they can't get a regular job paying good money, so they
So
get a.
your position on the topic is pretty neutral. Then, like, you stand in the middle, and you're like, hey, if you do whatever you want to do, and you don't have a negative opinion about it. I personally don't care. You know what I'm saying? Because that that's not for me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And everybody has the options that they can afford.
Exactly, dude. Exactly. It's what you can afford. Dime costs money.
Yeah.
What do you?
So
I mean, why is that so hard to understand? Unless you're an idiot, right? Unless you're trying to go swim upstream. If you're trying to swim upstream, go ahead, knock yourself out, keep paddling,
man,
right?
look, the the I think the conversation can be about safety. I think these safety concerns are always like swept under the rug, because the way people talk about it, they leave out the part where your safety could be compromised. You know what I'm saying? Because when you hear one thing, you can imagine whatever you want it to be, and it's always something else when you get there. You know, you got what you think you know, what you've been told, and then what's reality once you
Exactly. Yeah.
get there. So the 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 spectrum of where this conversation can go is relative to the interest of the person too. You know, because like if you don't care, you don't know about this stuff. But because um, you never run out of threats and options and opportunities. You always got to be vigilant on some of these things. So what would you say that the passport bros need to be more aware of, if anything at all?
Well, look at that article you got up there.
Mm-hmm.
Those stories are not as rare as people think.
Yeah,
I
they,
mean,
they definitely happen. They,
I
they
mean,
I mean, obviously,
you can watch the ID channel, and they'll talk about losing a liver or kidney, waking up in a bathtub, being drugged, take all your money gone, making you take everything out of your bank account. There's tons of stories out there like that,
yeah,
but that's not exactly a topic that can make you money on the internet.
mm, it's true.
That's not a topic that can make you money on the internet. Now, if you show fine pictures of women dancing, you're in a club. This is what's in Colombia. This is what's in Mexico, and all that. Of course, people are gonna tune in.
Yeah,
You know.
my friend Luna Love, thank you for tuning in. She said she was just out in Colombia, and you got to be an idiot to get got. But between intoxication and desire, people forego safety.
Yep.
Absolutely, yeah. People will throw caution out. To the wind. This is why I always talk about defining sexual discipline, because that that decision making changes, your personal safety outcomes. Because if you're out there chasing, tail, it's only a minute. It only takes a wrong move to get caught in a wrong situation. But that's the case anywhere. But you got to read the room. But if you go out of town thirsty, it's like going to the grocery store on an empty stomach. So
I know if I go there, I wouldn't go. The way things are today, I wouldn't go there without knowing somebody that can actually show me around and speak the language and tell me where to go, where not to go.
so
I wouldn't,
so
I wouldn't do that.
mhm,
That's me, but people could travel how they want.
yeah. So the personal safety thing, and I'm here to mess the piece about the sexual discipline piece. You know what I'm saying? Because what you choose to chase also defines your mindset as well. It's a big difference in going to have a good time and then you have a good encounter while you're there. But it's another thing to have a truly motivated trip that's based on being promiscuous. And there's nothing wrong with that either. If that's what you want to do. It just comes with different risks. And some of those risks are probably more likely to happen depending on what choices you make, because you don't know everything. You don't know the complete lay of the land. All you can do is go somewhere and trust people. You know what I'm saying? But some situations work out way differently depending on what reasons you set forth to go over there.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Now, if you would have told me this a long time ago, I probably would have went. But today, with what I see, what's going on, social media, it obviously isn't the same. Anybody should have a little bit of caution in them. I mean, you think what happened to Natalie Holloway and all those people are just jokes? You think they're just vulnerable women? No, she was in a prestigious area.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like she was in some rinky dink. No, you know. But
Mm-hmm.
still, I would just travel with caution, and I would still. But the way the passport bros are making it out to be, like you can go on the beach, and you could probably go on the beach, but I would look left and right.
I think it's probably more trolling than anything. I think most of the smoke behind that is uh, people that are antagonists to each other on both sides. The the women that don't like it are in arguments with men that just want to provoke women, to an argument, to a point of disagreement.
What do you mean the women that don't like it? The women that don't like to
Well,
go to
there's
Colombia?
always somebody that doesn't like anything. You know what I'm saying?
What
Just
do you
like
mean? The ones that don't like to go to Colombia and places like
no, no,
that?
no. The women that do not care for the passport bros. There are women that are offended. You know what I'm saying? That men would leave the United States to go meet women in other places because they
Why
say, "Hey, I'm right here." You know,
why be so insecure about that? Like what why I
I
never
look.
understand. Why be so insecure about that?
Hey, people are
And
insecure when
Serena,
they
Serena
don't have
Williams Serena Williams ain't going out with no black man.
no.
You want to go down the lane? There's a bunch of them. What are they insecure? Are they mad at that? I mean, why? Because they go elsewhere? You can't go
Um,
people.
yeah, like I think that there's always going to be somebody that's critical about something just for the sake of being critical, just want some attention, you know. And what I'm saying is that it's two sides that are just trolling each other, and the most
Why?
noise
Why
comes
get?
from
But Vic, why get into that immature conversation with
no,
that?
no. And what I'm saying, I'm
I
trying
mean,
to
that's
narrow
right up, like I said, man, that's right up there with the name calling and the not
right,
knowing.
which is why I'm trying to narrow it down. Like
I mean, like, dude,
most
grow
of the
up.
noise, I believe most of the noise on the topic is just coming from people that just antagonizing each other, and then we're just hearing the echoes from them just trolling each other,
Right.
because I believe it's a very small percentage of people that can really go truly enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? The way that they talk about it, but I don't I don't believe it's enough people to change the course of things in one particular country either. Let's see what we got. What's up? Shout out to Nikisha. What's said they actually look for people who are coming there with their guards down so it's easy to spot them.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
exactly.
Yeah,
That's
they look
exactly.
like food. See, when you leave the house and you are motivated and your senses are all focused on one thing, if you don't have a plan, you don't have no resources, you don't know nobody over there, you putting yourself in a different type of risk. But that's true in any country, not just Colombia, but this is just an example of it. So be careful of the motivation you lead with. So
Listen,
see, because men compared at the point in which you start saying something is better than you, most people are going to get offended and defend themselves. I agree with that too. Some eventually somebody's just going to respond because they don't like what's being discussed. This is why you got to define the discussion. You know what I'm saying? And you got
are
to
they talking
understand.
about you? But are they talking about you?
No, of course not.
Exactly. So what are you gonna get offended for?
And that's what I was, and that's why I said that's why the discussion has to be defined and figure out who's talking to who. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
but if nobody's mentioning your name, they can't be talking about you.
I'm not like that, so I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
like I'm not going to go carry nobody else's burden or cross for them because they like whatever they like. And
Listen,
but
I've never been to Brazil, but I'm not gonna say I don't like it. I don't know, but I'd love to go. There's certain things I would love to see there and see for myself, And but I would love to. But I'm not gonna say I don't like it. I don't know it. Only
Mhm.
fools talk. Only fools talk about places they don't like when they don't know and they've never been. Only fools talk like that. It's like saying I don't like to eat sushi. How come? I don't like
Mhm.
sushi. I don't know. Well, you never tried it? No. Then how do you know you don't like it? Oh, you're one of those. Okay. I mean, hey, listen. I can't fix stupidity. I can only just deal with it.
Um,
Right. I'm gonna try a plate before I say I don't like it. I'm gonna put my finger, take a little nip, and go, "Ooh, yeah, that's too spicy. It's not for me." I'm not gonna say, "Oh, I don't like it." That's
yeah.
that's asinine to me.
Yeah, I think we also Luna just said social media thrives because people feel compelled to share an opinion, and they definitely going to speak on things that they haven't experienced, you know what I'm saying, at depth. That is like I think one of the hardest things that is I wouldn't say hardest. I think social media has made it impossible for people to mind their business.
Yeah,
I
I
think
agree.
I think if people just minded their business, most things wouldn't be a popular discussion because most things that end up being popular discussion don't even have anything to do with the people that follow it. So I think I think social media has made it nearly impossible for people to truly mind their business. You know what I'm saying? Especially if they don't have anything going for themselves.
Well, yeah, I can agree. I can agree with that. Oh, how can I say this? Let me see. Whew.
Hey, yeah, yeah. I like when you take the extra step. Take the extra step, Antoine. Figure it out. Figure it out. Hey, and look, you got to solve the problem when you say it, okay? Because you can't just say anything. You got to solve the
like,
problem if you're
but
going to
it's like
present it.
it's like I don't understand. Like I watch social media just like the other people, and I just don't understand why are you watching something that triggers you. Like don't you got something better to do? Like I mean, if you're gonna listen to it for entertainment and listen to like I cut off certain social medias because it was just too negative, and I just didn't like what I was hearing, and I don't watch it anymore. But I'm not gonna watch something or listen to something that's not on my level or my page or what I believe in my thoughts. I'll watch something for entertainment. So there's two different. I have to be in the mood for it. But I don't care what the passport bros do. You know, I don't care what they do. I'm just saying that they have a right to do what they do, and it's not for me to judge. If they think that they can't find in their environment where they live or whatever what they're looking for, there's nothing wrong with going to. If the product is not there, you go to another store. That's all I'm saying, and there's nothing wrong with that, right?
Yeah,
It's
I
just
tell
like a
you what.
job. If you get a job offer in Texas, that's where the job is. If you get a job offer across overseas, that's where the job is. You're gonna go and make that money. That's how it works. But there's
Mhm.
nothing wrong with it. Now, if you're gonna come out and say, "Oh, the women here are like this," that's why I'm going over there. Well, put that disclaimer that that's your experience. That's what you can attract. That's what you've been attracting. But that's not generally how the market is. At least that's my belief. I'm going to tell you my experiences, but my experience is not going to be your experiences. That's all.
Yeah. So, man, that part of the discussion is like just presenting the the problem. You know what I'm saying? So, like, what would you think the solutions are in line with what we've already been discussing? Because we already said that people, it's a very small percentage of people that's taking advantage of the situation, right? In terms of being able to have the options to go see other cultures and how they operate. We already talked about, there's a lot more chatter about it on social media, and by people that really can't affect anything. They don't know anybody or whatever. They just really caught up in the discussion. So, what do you think um, the solution is in this discussion, or is there even a problem? Because I don't think it's a problem. It's not. I don't think the numbers are significant enough for it to even really be the in a negative narrative. You know what I'm saying? Because the number is too small to affect anything.
I think, well, first of all, I think this, listen, are you asking me this, what's the solution for what? The passport bros not doing what they're doing? Or
No,
what are
no,
you,
no, 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 no.
what are you asking me? Asking me a solution to what?
Like people minding their business. You know what I'm saying about it, and not getting so frustrated by it. Because the issue is everybody that gets triggered about it. Because if nobody knew about it or didn't pay attention to it, or they weren't interested in it, it wouldn't even be a topic. You know what I'm saying? Like like when I was in the army, it wasn't uncommon to see people have families overseas and you know develop resources and bring you know uh, uh, what they've earned to a different place because it's just cheaper to live. The cost of living is cheap and everything that goes along with that. I don't think the number is high enough for it to register the complaints that it gets. So I don't think it's even a problem, you know. But I'm always interested in a discussion about it when you see something that's worth talking about when it boils down to it. So what do you think this passport bro movement, what do you think the impact is on men in America going forward?
I don't think it has any impact.
I don't think so either.
What level of men are you talking about? It's not the 1 to the 15% of the people that are established doing good in life.
I
That's
agree
not,
with
we're
that.
not talking about those people. We're not talking about those people. Listen, we're having a discussion right now
Mm-hmm.
about passport bros. I would not be having this discussion if it wasn't brought up right now and we're talking about it. So it's happening now because I'm in a conversation about it. I'm not getting triggered. Really don't care. They're not changing my life. I'm still gonna get paid and I'm still gonna do what I do. But for the sake of having a discussion, okay, you're opening up the dialogue for it. Now, is there a solution? No, there shouldn't be a solution because it's not a problem. Mind your own business. Don't people say stay in your lane?
Yep. That's why I say people just need to mind their business.
I don't. Why would you care about what somebody else is doing?
Yeah, why would you care?
If you can't find a woman in America, it sucks to be you, buddy. I mean, there's how many millions here? You can't find one.
Mm-hmm.
Not,
So,
not every girl is an OnlyFans girl. Not every girl is a. Not every woman is a 304. Maybe the ones you've encountered, and maybe you led with your money, so you gave her the wrong impression. Then she found out you didn't have shit, and she called you a deadbeat. Maybe you had an argument with her. I don't know. You know,
mm-hmm.
people need to do them and mind their own business. You know.
So going forward, what do you think? You do you think it'll change at all?
Nope.
I don't
Nope.
think so either. I think
I
it's
think
always just been part of the fabric. People have always traveled to meet who they wanted to meet and spend money wherever they wanted to spend money, and and build a life wherever they go.
right. I mean, you can go around the world. You
Yeah,
can go to Canada.
I think it says more about people when they use it to try to shame other people. When they just break down and say, um, they use it to talk down to other people, saying, "Hey, I'm just gonna take this option over here. Why even advertise? Just go do it.
Just go do it. Like
Yeah,
that's
if
what
you
I'm
can
trying
do
to
it,
say.
just go do it. You know what I'm saying, and make the choice that go with it."
Right. And that's what I'm saying. Like, like I said, man, people talk about other places and they've never been. It's easy to talk behind your keyboard. It's easy to say you don't like this. You're behind the keyboard just talking shit, name calling, and doing your thing. I mean, dude, you have no effect on the person that's on the screen. You're a speck of sand that he'll never see again. Something that shit blows away. I mean, even the smell of shit doesn't last that long. Like you're nothing. And I'm sorry if you and I having a discussion is offending people, right? I'm sorry. We probably are, right? I mean, I don't know, but if they're smart, they wouldn't get triggered. But I doubt that they're that educated. But if they're getting triggered, why? It's just a discussion we're having. Did we swear at each other? Are we going at it? We're just talking about a topic that's actually prevalent in the news and on social media everywhere. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Yeah, I think the solution mostly is people just need to plan, and then they need to notify the right people instead of just telling everybody. I think the larger issue is that there are people communicating, they're volunteering unsolicited, like unsolicited combative language, I guess you could say. It's like deliberate attempts to just belittle people with, what I'm saying, their preferences. And the people that actually can make things happen, they don't care. They still go do what they do. They don't check their email to see if somebody's going to approve of whatever their preferences are. Because if they can make something happen, they don't need anybody's approval anyway.
Yeah, because they got
So,
they got better things to do.
I see. I
They
see.
got better things to do.
I see both sides just really need to mind the business that they can afford. You know.
If you got yourself together and if you're a woman and you got yourself together and you're doing your thing and you're pursuing your goals or whatever, and you're looking for that one guy and you're looking for that special guy and you're looking to get married, why do you care about the passport, bros? That person does. You probably don't even like him anyways.
That's true.
Why would that trigger you if you got your shit together?
That's true. Like if that's a pretty good point too, because if you're getting upset at somebody else's choices, that says more about you than it does about the person who makes the choice.
Yeah.
Good, bad, or indifferent. Nobody is trying to investigate why a person takes a certain level of offense to somebody else's personal choices for their life. So, and it's not hard to offend anybody anymore.
but that only it's like, when you talk to somebody that's got a lot of money, right? And he's talking to you and he's telling you he bought this new car, but he's also telling you about his bills that are like what you pay in rent. That's what he spends on a Saturday night. And you got a good job, you're working towards doing better, and he's telling you his problems and you're like trying to help him out. Are you getting upset because he's telling you his Ferrari broke down when you're secure within yourself? You're secure within yourself. You're not going to care about his rich man problems. You're going to help him in his situation. You're not going to get triggered and say, "Man, you an idiot. You got all this money and you crying over." You're not going to react like that because you're thriving towards those goals. You got bigger fishes to fry.
Mm-hmm.
At least you should have bigger fishes to fry, I think.
Man, look, um, I I think that when you break down what 2024 looks like, and having gone through 2023 as fast as this year went by, like I do believe it's going to eventually be less news about it because people are just discovering it has always existed, and I think a lot of people just catching up. You know what I'm saying? That's probably most of the the hype around it is that people that can't do it have a complaint about it, and then the people that can't get the right type of interaction with the opposite sex are gonna have their feelings about it also. But then there's some people that just absolutely don't care. You know what I'm saying? Because
Vic, how long have you known me? 3 years now. I don't care.
yeah, yeah,
I'm one not to care, man. When that red light's on, I do not care. I don't.
hmm,
I just need entertainment when I'm doing what I need to do professionally.
yeah. So man,
And you're the same way when you're writing. Do you really care what's going on with the password bros or anything like that?
no, I don't really care about much when
And
it
I don't
comes
think the
to.
passport bros is as big as what people are making it out to be. I just think it's become a talking point that for views, likes, and comments and making money. That's what I
Hmm.
think. That's what I think it's all about. Just like talking about OnlyFans is a big thing now. Um, Talking about high value man is a big thing now. Talking about what's that other topic that's hot on the market? What is it? Having a woman submit to you. That's a talking point now. All these are just talking points to make you make money.
That's an interesting point too, because that's one of the reasons why the Passport Boys, what I'm saying, came into uh, popular social media narratives. Is that a lot of people were talking about submission
Hmm.
and finding someone that will submit to them, but like if they won't submit to you, if nobody submits to you in the same language that you speak in, you'll get played in every language because they understand you better than you understand them in most cases, because you have to do something unique to actually build a bond with somebody. But if they can see you coming a mile away and they don't know anything about your family or nothing like that, you just a good time, you food in most cases.
Yeah, but you got to understand, like when people say the word submit, I mean, and that's another talking point that the passports bros say when they go to other countries. They show you the woman walking in with their plate of food and they're submissive and putting their shoes by the door. They create such a great story, right? Um, but do you really want a woman to be that, they like that, like not a mind of her own, like doesn't call you out for your mistakes and puts her foot down when she knows you're going in the wrong direction? Do you
So
really want?
look,
I'm just saying, like, you really want a woman that's just like a puppet, like
I will say this right here. I believe some dudes need that
you know.
because it's a lot of guys that just not masculine. Like that's part of it too.
Yeah,
It, it,
those are the ones that can't form a sentence, though. You know,
I don't know. Like
those are
I
the
will
same.
just
Those are the same ones that those are the same ones that like I said resort to name calling and shit because they don't know how to form a sentence. They can't have a dialogue because the more like when somebody it's like a little chihuahua. It has to bark the loudest to make you fear it. You know what I mean? But when you have a Doberman just stays quiet and shows you his teeth and goes, yeah. You know what I mean? Like it's just funny to me.
I man, some people gonna always struggle with the same thing, no matter what the language is, the zip code, the hemisphere, the time, the date. It's like always been a group of people that gets what they want, and it comes easier to them than a group of people that doesn't get what they want, and that they have to compromise differently. All of us have to compromise because none of us get every single thing that we want, right? But I think that it's a um, I think it's a very narrow talking point about what people think submission is, because if people can be nice to you and still be very mean to you in other ways. They can find ways to manipulate you, you know what I'm saying? If you go in focused on one thing, and if that's the only thing you harping on, you're gonna miss a whole lot of the stuff. And I think a lot of guys end up in that situation because they find out that women universally are the women that man can attract are universally going to end up, having like similar situations to compare to, because they still reflect who he is, you know?
Right.
Because
Right.
again, going back to, you can only have the relationships that you can afford. And it got nothing to do with money. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you can't build relationships, it doesn't matter where you are. Like, if you struggle with that in one zip code, you probably gonna struggle with that in other places too,
Right.
because eventually you're gonna have a pattern, and patterns repeat themselves, obviously. And at some point, if this pattern only shapes the way it shapes because you're in it, at some point you gotta look at yourself.
A lot of people need to do that. Whew.
No, don't. I mean, all of us need to look at ourselves every day a little bit more than the others. Some of us need to look at each other, look at ourselves a little bit more than the other. And there's some areas where, what I'm saying, we constantly have to look, because we need some form of discipline and self-improvement. You know what I'm saying? You can't, because you can't progress without discipline.
You
Can't
need
progress without no type of understanding.
really, discipline to me is like structure.
Yeah.
Discipline. Really, discipline is another word for structure. I'm just saying the word submissive. If I was a woman and I heard that, that would trigger me, right? Because how are you using it? Like, and if you have nothing, why am I being submissive towards you? You ain't got nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You're just an average guy, right? And even if you're a rich, filthy, stinking man and got everything, I mean, would you really use that word submissive? Would you say to your girl, "Hey, you got to be submissive to me"? If I was her, I'd leave you. No woman in there that's got their shit together should take that kind of talk.
Mm-hmm.
No woman that's got their shit together should take that kind of talk. That's I believe, and I wouldn't want a woman that would take that from me, because I would be insulting her. But that's me. I mean,
Look, well, how do you set the framework for you to get that type of respect? Because, like, when people say submission, they're really talking about cooperation and respect. You know what I'm saying? It's just got this
then why
one
not say
word,
that?
huh?
Then why not just say that?
Well, because most people aren't team players. Most people are making selfish decisions instead of selfless decisions. So it's
Or they can't explain themselves and form a sentence.
that too. I don't doubt that. So in that situation, right? That's again another example where somebody's asking for something they can't provide in most
Right.
cases. Because
Right.
if you can't articulate it, then you definitely don't know what you're asking for.
Hmm.
It's gonna be harder for the other person to give you what you want if you can't articulate it.
Right. Right. I mean,
So that's how communication is supposed to work.
that's the key
Supposed
right
to.
there, Vic. That's the key right there, man. Communication.
Well,
That's the
yeah.
key right there. Communication. I mean, I believe that's the strong point of any relationship is communication. And like I said, it's one of the fundamental things you have to establish in the beginning, right? It's one of the fundamental things I believe you have to establish in the beginning of a relationship. What's your wants and needs? What do you expect out of it? Why don't people have that conversation? It's okay. You know,
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, I think more importantly, it's about effective communication. Like, you can say whatever you want, but the ability to get the other person to absorb it is really, really on you. On your side to articulate it in a way where they can digest it.
right?
I think that that's the other part. See, a lot of people like to just say what they want, but they don't know how to form, you know what I'm saying, a tangible strategy in the words that they use when they're trying to tell, when they're trying to get from the significant other what they want.
Right. I
And
agree with
then once
that.
they discover that they really can't get what they want from that person, generally speaking, it's been too late and the person was unwilling to accept, you know what I'm saying, whatever circumstances that they got in front of them at that time.
Right.
But because those situations come up, they also give you examples of like pay attention to the red flags because you might have to leave. You might have to do something else.
Right.
And if you don't, and then the thing is, when you leave and you try this in another place, you can't be shocked when you get the same outcomes in a different language.
I absolutely agree with you on that.
Yeah,
And,
because no matter
okay.
where you go, that's why I say it's about mindset. You know, all of this is about mindset.
Right.
If it comes down to how you think about self perception, do you think that um I would say this right here, out of 10, how many passport bros would you believe have an identity issue?
When you say identity issue, what do you specifically
Meaning
what?
there's some people that are just not established or have low self-esteem that, you know, probably want a path of least resistance for different reasons, not for any other reason other than just convenience, you know what I'm saying, access. Because there are always even less people that move around to start families, you know. It might be a conversation piece, but the actions say something else. You understand what I mean?
Right. I just okay. So for my answer, I listen. I don't believe it's a an identity problem, or I just believe, first of all, like I said, Kevin Samuels popularized this. It came up after him. I just believe that within their environment, they just in their environment, the people they've come across and they've experienced is what drove them to do what they did. And I don't believe it's as prevalent as people are making it out to be. I believe it's a great talking point, which it is, because it's made a lot of channels, a lot of money, a lot of views, but it's not as big as people make it out to be. That's
Yeah.
what I mean.
It's not big enough to really dwell on it like, oh, we got an identity crisis or nothing like that.
Right. It's nothing like that.
Yeah.
It's
And the reason I asked the question too is it's like identity issues are produced from malignant places. Like if it if there's a popular conversation that makes people distort, you know, the view they have of every person they come in contact with, then it's a
hmm
very powerful narrative. You know what I'm saying? But like it's not happening enough ways where it can be like casual influence. You know,
right.
for the most part, it's just a popularity trip. It's a vacation, but most people do not have the resources or the structure to just say, you know what, I'm just going to uproot, relocate, move to, I don't know, the Philippines or something like that. Most people don't.
They don't, and it's not that easy. They don't just say, "Hey,
Most
come over
people
here."
can't even move down the street if they had to
Right.
move.
Come over here and you have full access to our country. They think what? You get off the border, get off the plane, and it's like, carte blanche. I mean, carte blanche is French. You think it's like you get off the plane and it's like, here you go.
What do you say, cotton blouse?
Means a white card. It's like it was French. Sorry, my bad.
Oh,
Hey, it
so
slips out sometimes. What do you want from me?
man, look. So what I know I asked you because I know you speak French, and as we get to the back half of the
Oh,
show,
don't start saying that. You Americans, you always think French people are gay. I know
no,
that.
hey, look, hey, I'm
Don't even
here.
I know that. I heard that
Hey,
enough. Fuck
all
that
I
shit.
have is questions. All I have is questions. You know what I'm saying? I don't have the
Don't
experience.
blame
I
me
don't.
because I speak three languages. Don't fucking blame me.
No, hey, look, it got nothing to do with it. You know?
I read a book.
Yeah. Like like I said, I'm very interested in like whatever journey that you care to share on because in general,
That's
you
my,
a
that's my
passport
dream.
boy.
Huh?
Like in general, you a passport boy. You lived in Trinidad. You came to
Lived in
California
Baltimore. Lived in Baltimore.
You're from Canada.
Lived
So
in
what's it
Baltimore.
like? So what's it like being in Baltimore too? So
Baltimore. Went
what's
to
it like
Florida.
being a
Don't forget
passport?
Florida. Don't forget
Okay.
Florida.
So what's it
I
like
never go back to Florida.
so what's it like for you being a passport boy in North America?
Well, first of all, I wouldn't call myself a passport boy.
I'm
I,
just saying in general, it's
I
like
listen. If
you're
there's
not
a,
well here the premise though, and it's not
okay,
a negative thing. It's just simply based off of documentation. You're not an American. You've been in the United States. You've been moving throughout North America. You speak French. You got parents from two different countries. You might be a passport boy, Antoine. When you think about it. So, like, what's been your perception of being a passport boy in North America the last 20 years, 30 years?
30 years. I
That's
mean, listen. I don't. I mean,
like
I
where have you
don't,
had where have you had the most, I guess, experience in being from uh, Trinidad and then operating in the United States?
dude. Listen. The opportunity, and I can speak from this. The opportunity here is immense, right? If you know how to navigate, you don't you don't play that victimhood shit going on. If you play your cards right and you focus on what you want to do and where you want to go, I mean, listen, I know there's opportunity here because I could smell it when I got off the plane. Um, and I just think you have to put yourself in the amongst the right people. Um, Believe in what you want to do. Listen, I came here because a job. My whole thing was a job request. I mean, that's how I got here. They wanted me. Um, and my father was good at what he did, and he traveled because he was good at what he did. They plucked him out of Trinidad. He was like, "All right, shit, let's go." Um, and I think everybody should achieve those goals and go where you need to go. You got to go when you're young, and if you're experienced and you're good at what you do, and somebody offers you a job in Timbuktu, and they're paying you an arm and a leg, you better get your ass to Timbuktu and make that money, and then you can always come back. And you can and at this, like, remember I told you if I was in the army, first of all, I'd be a jet pilot. I'd definitely be that jet pilot. Woo! I'd be that. I'd be landing that carrier. I plant a seed in every damn country my plane landed in. But that's me. But let's just, let's not go there.
Yeah, undisciplined. The dreams of an undisciplined Antoine.
Hey man, my next life I'm a pilot. In my next life I'm a pilot.
That's a wild visual.
I'll be landing on a lot of aircraft carriers. Oh damn.
Man, Lord Farquaad. Lord Farquaad in the military flying a jet. That's crazy. That's a wild visual, Antoine. Like you something else, man. You something else.
Oh, sorry about that.
Hey, look, what do we tell you? Do not disturb. You're supposed to be in airplane mode.
Man, I thought it was in airplane mode, to be honest, but it was ringing from my computer.
Yeah, it probably bounced, But man, I didn't think that we needed a long drawn out conversation about this right here. So what else is so how was your holiday, man? Because I want to move on from the passport bros and talk about what I'm saying.
My holiday's been going good.
Yeah, what have I missed since we last spoke last week?
Let's see. I cheated on my diet unbelievably.
Yeah.
I'm not a drinker, and I drank a lot.
Yeah. What's a lot for you?
Honestly, I had 6 beers, dude, and I had 6 beers, one sambuca shot, and I thought I was gonna die the next day. I thought, oh my goodness, how do people survive the next day with this shit? and oh man, I mean, when you're younger, you could take it, and then you get on this physical path, and you want to take care of yourself, and your body cleanses out, and you just, I'm not a drinker like that, and when you go with guys that are like, by the bottle, and it's like, whoa, it's like, whoa, it's like, whoo. What about yourself? How was your holiday? I mean,
the holiday
did Santa bring you what you wanted?
Oh man, look, holiday was chill. I didn't do anything I didn't want to do, and stayed at the house, watch some movies, and
there you go. That's all you can. I mean, the New Year's I'm going to celebrate. The New Year's I'm going to find Oh yeah, the New Year's is for adults. The whole Christmas thing was great when I believed in Santa Claus, and as you get older, it's for the kids. It's not really for you anymore.
What age did you wave Santa Claus off?
Damn, I'd have to ask my mom that one. What age? I would say, God, I milked Santa Claus. See, I milked the holidays for what it's. I love the holidays, right? I really get into it. Um, I would say I milked it till I was like 12, 13, I want to say.
Man, you a manipulative person. You know, like you look.
I like to go to I went to the mall, right? When you go to the mall and you see that Santa Claus line from like around the corner of the mall, people waiting with their little babies, and I just sit there sometimes and just watch how they're all excited about it. Which kid is crying, which kid is not crying, and it's amazing to me. Like, yeah, I just think that's amazing.
Hey, my man Gino said, 18. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
See, I'm with you, Gino. Hey, I'm with you, man. I'm with you.
You guys are gonna milk the Santa Claus narrative until you 12 and 18. You guys are disgusting.
Gino, I am with Gino.
y'all some scumbags, man.
I like Gino. Gino, I'm with you, man. If it ain't broke, though, I am with you, Gino.
Where you going for New Year's, Antoine?
The Queen Mary. The Queen Mary. There's a ship that's docked here. It's the Queen Mary, and every year they have what I like about it is that it's outside. It's also they got like 7 halls playing different music and different sounds. So you can go, Latin upstairs, pop. For the adults, they got the orchestra thing going on. There's a buffet to eat. There's fireworks at the end. It's a whole thing, and I love it out there. Yeah, that's where I'm going to be. I'm going to plant myself right there with a few friends, and we're going to have it, tear it up.
Yeah. You did you got any upcoming art shows?
That's why I don't have anything behind me besides
everything's in the gallery.
Dude, I'm working on a golf club, a private client golf country club right now to draw that one, to get that out of the way, and then I'm going to draw. I have to just start my next show which be, and I had it on the show once, Unkle Junior Network, The American Gangster, which was a little animation cartoon.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, we I'm still waiting to for you to finish the artwork that you said you was making.
Listen,
look,
I gave you my word on that. I am going to draw the caricature.
I believe it. I'm not challenging you. I promise you that.
I know, but I've said
it's almost 24. That's all I'm saying.
We're going into 3 years now. I'm going to make it an issue in 2024 to finish the sketches that I have done.
Oh, okay.
I am, and even if Unkle Junior is not around, I'm still going to make sure I design his.
You see how fast this time goes by.
Yeah,
and this is only us showing up once a week.
This show has opened so many doors for me in the sense of, other people looking at it and being able to show them my art. And I really enjoy it. I really, really enjoy it. And it's great that I get to share my art with people. Because a lot of people have actually asked me, hey, I saw you on that show. You talk once in a while. I'm like, yeah, I'm there every Wednesday, which is great. Good. And so I've had a few people visit my page, which is great.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, tell them to come support the chat.
Oh yeah.
Tell them to come support the chat. Yeah. To everybody that's here, make sure you do me a favor.
People are here anyway. How many people are in the chat?
We have 9 on this side, and then YouTube they're watching over there too. So we got a little bit of traffic today. You know what I'm saying? Most times people catch the replay, and I go back and check the analytics. Because whatever people have going on. So the
I gotta get another screen so I can have I gotta get another screen.
Come on, man.
I know I keep saying, but I'm gonna get somebody to help me set up this whole thing so I can see what's going on. Yeah, I don't even need it. Honestly, you know me. Vic, 2 years I've been on Unkle Junior. Have I ever really looked at the chat? I don't really care. I don't know none of them people. What can they possibly say to me? I don't know none of them. Like, even if they say what they say, it's like
I wouldn't even worry about it, man. Like
exactly. That's why I don't understand how people get triggered by watching social media. It's like it's not your world. It's a make. They're supposed to comment.
Mm-hmm.
Like what do they say? Sex sells, drugs and rock and roll sells. Good news does not sell newspapers. You
Mm-hmm.
know.
Yeah. Yeah, for real, man. It's,
You know me. How long have I been on this thing? And I always say I'm going to get another screen so I can shrink it down. But I like it big like this. This is my head's like this.
oh, pause. Look, so this was a really good. It's a really good discussion,
Right?
I was.
This is good.
I want to also take a moment to, what I'm saying, go ahead and advertise the merch for all of you that appreciate good t-shirts. Here's one for you. Go check out the store. I'm about to drop the link in the chat. It's a $15 shirt.
Yo, make you my
your chick make you mad. My chick make me a sandwich. Yes.
Your chick make you mad. Oh, the little chick, the bird, got it. Ah,
you like that? See, like
that was good.
Most people are one sandwich away from making a bad decision, man. You know what I'm saying? So
I got it. Your chick, I got it with the chick. I guess I couldn't see because it's so tiny, but now I look at it.
Yeah, you see it. You like that.
That's cool.
And it's in blue. We're gonna make it. Yeah, there you go, right there. You
get hey, now I can see. Yeah, that's
like
cool.
That.
Yo, chick.
You like that, Antoine?
Yeah. Actually, that's very creative.
Yeah.
Vic, you know what? That's the writer in you, man. That's funny.
I can't overlook an opportunity. You know what I'm saying?
That's funny.
So, for those of you that want to give the gift of a good T-shirt, you have to go check this link out. It's in the chat. Also, I want to say thank you to everybody that's continued to support the platform on the evening show as well as the morning show. And this morning was a really good topic, pertaining to the sandwich, because the sandwich is the key to peace in most places, because if you got one meal to sit down and think about what you're about to do, you make different decisions. That's just what it is. So, I appreciate you being available to check out the platform and interact in the comments and leave us some feedback and think about what you guys would like to see on the discussion. And Antoine, you want to leave us with some closing thoughts?
Man, don't pay attention to whatever anybody else does or says. Like I said, uneducated people can't form a sentence and name call. That's all. Just if it doesn't apply to you, let it fly. Isn't that what the saying is? If it doesn't apply to you, let it fly. That's
mind your business. Pay attention to the people. Yeah, mind your business, man. So with that being said, we out.
There you go.
Make sure you subscribe on all platforms and hit the like button and follow. Please leave your feedback in the comments. Make sure you hit up the super chat, leave a donation to support the platform. Yo chick make you mad, my chick make me a sandwich. Yo chick make you mad, my chick make me a sandwich. Go cop the shirt, visit the merch store, shop with Accountable Masculinity, and support the platform. Men have hope.